Okay, beautiful Tuesday morning. Great time again to discuss sports. Yes, we're live on the Integrity Station, Splash 105.5 FM, broadcasting from the White House building, Felele in Ibadan this morning. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Well, today is the 27th day in the month of April, just so you know, in the year 2021. Well, I've got my great friends with me this morning on the program. Blessing Fowa is right here. Feromi Adeboyega is on board as well. Welcome on board. Thank you for joining us at this time. Remember, we're streaming live on our Facebook fan page, and it will be such a pleasure to have you join us via Splash 105.5 FM. Splash 105.5 FM is the ID. On our Facebook page, we have something for you. Let's rub minds on. It's big deal. Alan Shearer, the highest goal scorer in the history of the Premier League. Of course, Thierry Henry, Arsenal's great Premier League great. They've become the first players to be inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. So the question we're asking this morning is, what do you think should be the next to join them? We have a long list of nominees on our fan page, from Tony Adams to David Beckham to Dennis Beckham to Eric Cantona, Andrew Cole, Ashley Cole, DJ Drogba, Sol Campbell. The list is long. Robin Van Persie, Paul Scholes, and of course it is endless. Let us know what you think. But for now, two guys, Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry, have been listed into the English Premier League Hall of Fame. Well, it's been war of words on Twitter between Kamaru Usman, a welterweight champion in the UFC, and of course Conor McGregor, the animal. That's what it's called, right? Well, it was an animal until it got, beaten by Khabib Nurmagomedov, and since then, it's not been the same for him. He tried his hand in a bit of boxing against the money man Mayweather. It still didn't go as a plan. Well, let us wait to see. Maybe that's the next big fight that Dana White will be promoting for us in the UFC. 2020 Olympics will provide selection options for Coach Offley. We're speaking here, Nicole Inabosi. We'll get to talk about that much later on the program as well. Remember, Monday Night Football yesterday in the EPL, Senior Mike Kelechi Iheanacho to the rescue. Again, they had to come from a goal down. That's against Crystal Palace for Leicester City. Eventually, they won the game 2-1, meaning that the race to finish in the Champions League place, is still very much on course. Okay, let me start with Blessing Fowa. Good morning to you, Blessing.
Good morning, Tunde. Good morning, Feromi. And of course, good morning to the city of Ibadan. Super Tuesday. Happy to be back here again. I'm wondering, should I start from Senior Man Kels or just talk about the Hall of Fame? But yeah.
You were trolling Kels yesterday.
Yeah. Was it trolling?
Was it not?
Was I trolling him? Well, I listened to his post-match interview, and the way he was using the word massive was a massive
that's
point.
Not the point. Blessing.
And then the accent, yes, the accent got me talking really, and I was wondering.
Trolling.
I wasn't trolling. It was just an observation.
This guy's been living in the UK for how many years now?
Okay, so Kanu lived in the UK for how long?
Kanu was an old man.
Okocha lived in the UK for how long?
Whatever. I'm actually looking for that video that got Blessing talking yesterday. The interview that Kelechi Iheanacho had after the game between Leicester City and Crystal Palace.
How big are 3 points do you think it earned your team?
It is so big. It's a massive 3 points for us. We got 1-8 down at halftime. We were nervous a little bit, but in the second half, we change it around. We get control of the game and get them running, and the space keep coming. Then we get the goal. It was a massive 3 points for us.
Do you think it feels more massive, if you like, because you went behind, because of the way the game went?
No, I think we didn't start quite well. I think it was a sloppy goal, but the second half we get control of the game, and as I said before, it was a massive 3 point, and we got it today. So it will give us a boost to go to the next game.
Okay, so can you tell the difference
So you have
between Kelechi Iheanacho and the British journalist?
Yes, I could tell you. A little difference anyway, but hey, I think I have hope. When I get to the UK, my accent's going to switch, I'm going to start talking like Cinnamon Cows.
Somebody on Twitter said, he called it Britibu. I don't know what to say about that. Feromi Adegboyega, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. How you doing?
Sorry?
I'm practicing, when I get there. But good morning to you today. Good morning to Blessing. To the city of Ibadan, to our wonderful listener out there. I mean, Super Tuesday it is. And it's actually started on a very interesting, entertaining note this wonderful morning. I mean, they say when you're in Rome, you have to actually behave like a Roman. And I think that is what, Kelechi is actually doing at this point in time.
Isn't that how Mikel speaks?
Yes.
And to an extent,
Miguel has an
Obafemi
accent.
Martins.
Yeah, he
Miguel
has
has an
an accent.
accent. Yakubu has an accent.
Definitely.
What's that?
But then I think, take away the accent, let's talk about his performance. This man has been so amazing. I mean, he's like the main man for Leicester City at this point in time. He's like carrying the team on his shoulders, with his performance at this point. I mean, look at that thunderous strike, from him yesterday night. It was really, really massive.
He said the only thing on his mind was just shift and shoot.
Exactly.
Shift and shoot.
That precision, that accuracy from the senior man was out of this world, was really, really massive. Like he actually said, very outrageous. And I think, this man, if they are definitely going to qualify for the Champions League, I think he's going to be an instrumental part of that squad that would actually make them qualify. I mean, 14 goals and 14 games so far, 10 goals in the last 8 games for Leicester City. That's something really, really massive for him. And he keeps improving on a daily basis. That's really great. So I think, he should keep up the good work, keep up the consistency. Good for him, good for his career. And of course, on the long run, it could be good for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
So let us talk about the EPL Hall of Fame. Shearer and Thierry Henry. And then Blessing has come up with a list.
No, I didn't come up with a list.
It's not a list.
No, it's not my list. It's a list from the Premier League. 23-man shot. That's the first batch, really.
Yeah.
There are still more nominees to come out, and they're asking people to vote 6. They want 6 more people to join Shearer and Thierry Henry in the Hall of Fame. But we're just asking people that who just pick a name. We don't want you to go through the stress of having to mention 6 people. Just tell us who you think should be joining them next. So it's not my list anyways, but the Premier League.
Is your list?
It is not my list.
It's Premier League.
But I do have one name that I want to join. First off, Didier Drogba.
Anyway, let's go through the list again. You have John Terry, Robin van Persie, Nemanja Vidic, Patrick Vieira, Ian Wright, Matthew Letizia of Southampton, great in his own right. Michael Owen, Peter Schmeichel, Paul Scholes, Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Fowler, Steven Gerrard, Roy Keane, Frank Lampard, Les Ferdinand, Didier Drogba, Ashley Cole, Andrew Cole, Eric Cantona, Sol Campbell, Dennis Beckham, David Beckham, Tony Adams. There is a name that is missing here, and I think we all can understand, even though he achieved almost everything as a footballer, but then again, is the turn that his life has taken of recent, that's talking about Ryan Giggs, is perhaps one reason why is not being considered at this point in time. But let me quickly get your take on this list. Feromi, let me start with you.
I mean, these are great players. These are very, very, great players in their days that actually dominated and contributed immensely to the world of football, especially in the Premier League. And, for anybody picking anyone, I think it's going to be a very difficult decision. For me, though, if I'm going to be picking any name from that list, I will be going with Eric Cantona, of, those days of Manchester United.
Why not pick like 3?
Okay, why not pick like 3? Okay,
yes. So you've gone for Eric Cantona?
I've gone for Eric Cantona. Secondly, I would be going for Didier Drogba as well.
Okay.
I think he did so well for Chelsea. He actually carried Chelsea on his shoulder, delivered for them when they need him the most. A big team, a big game player is who Didier Drogba is in his days in that particular one. And of course, I think it won't be fair not to go for someone like Paul Scholes. Also a very, very fantastic player in his days. Very, very amazing, very creative. He will get you the goals when you actually need him, and that's one of the reasons why I'm actually going for those players.
Okay, so Feromi has picked these 3.
Okay, To pick my three. First of all,
You already mentioned Drogba.
Didier Drogba, yes.
You're not changing your mind.
Of course, I'm not. Never. I'm never going to change my mind on that. I see the kind of impact he had with Chelsea. Absolutely brilliant. 2004 to 2012. I mean, you look at Drogba at Chelsea. It was beyond words. And the other two. Okay, I think Ian Wright. I'll pick Ian Wright because of the influence, the continued influence that is had to have on Arsenal as a club, and then the dressing room as well. It's someone that the players get to respect so much. And
in this setup, you've picked Ian Wright over some of the other players. Yeah,
it's my choice now. Sure.
Blessing.
Is it your choose?
Should we dissect your choice?
Is it your choose? Allow me.
Am I allowed to dissect
Allow me
your
pick
choice?
my choose.
Right ahead of Steven Gerrard.
And the
choose.
last person for me will be Roy Keane. Roy Keane.
So you picked Ian Wright before Roy Keane?
Yes, I did.
Interesting. Why is Wayne Rooney not on this list?
Pick your list.
Pick your list. Exactly.
No,
pick yours,
I'm
pick yours.
concerned. This list is.
When Rooney is there.
Is not. I've not seen Wayne Rooney here. Is not.
He's actually not on the list at this point.
Okay, he did second batch.
Blessing. I keep saying you compile this list.
Batch
I
B.
didn't. This is not my
You
work.
had an
No,
influence.
This is the work of the Premier League.
I know. I know what I'm saying.
I'm not working on the Premier. Am I a staff of the English Premier League for crying out
Blessing.
loud?
They listen to you somehow, and you influence their choice. How
sorry.
can Wayne Rooney not be in
If you don't
this
do
list?
second batch, you go there second batch.
Even you are surprised that Wayne Rooney is not on the
No,
list.
I am not surprised. If you don't
Okay,
do
who
second
would you
batch,
have
you
actually
go
removed for Wayne
for
Rooney?
this for Wayne Rooney?
Sorry,
Who would you have removed?
there are so many.
Maybe I'll remove Van Persie though.
There are so many on this list.
Maybe I'll remove Van Persie.
Even Steven Gerrard.
Really?
I'll remove him for Wayne Rooney.
Really?
That's
Yes.
debatable
Ah,
today.
come on.
You know,
That's
that sleep alone should sleep him out.
We can't judge him
That's
based on,
sleep.
based on one
You
mistake.
can't judge him based on
We
that
can't
sleep.
judge him.
But you see, one
with
moment
massive-
sometimes determines everything.
No, it doesn't take
It might
anything
have-
away from his legendary
Exactly.
status.
So what has taken away from Rooney's legendary status?
We
To
have
not
to-
be
You
here.
have to ask Premier League. Maybe
I'm asking you.
He goes this
Blessing.
second batch or third batch.
You could have actually removed another person, but not Steven Gerrard.
I wanted to get you guys thinking.
And you did.
But really, should Ian Wright have been in this?
Yes, he should.
He's an Arsenal great.
No.
Can he be a great?
There
are so many greater
Like
players.
I said, the continued influence is.
What is continued influence? Is it because the pundits
Where
these days-
is Ryan Giggs' continued influence?
Remember, he's still the manager of Wales. He's only under suspension.
He is.
He
But
has
of course,
qualified them for the Euros.
you just said that the way his life has turned in the recent years is a question.
But
They are all allegations for now.
should we judge based on what his life has turned out to be, or what his impact was when he was actually playing?
So you think it's unfair to?
I
not
think
have
to
him
some
in this
extent
list?
it is unfair.
Ferrum, do you know if he had made the Hall of Fame?
Okay.
And then facts came out about, or he was confirmed to be guilty,
Okay.
they would have removed his name.
Tony Adams went to prison. He's on this list.
So,
He was convicted.
I think the question
He was
is, what
convicted.
criteria are they putting on ground to actually pick this list, to compile this list?
Well,
Because for me, I think what they are actually bringing together is what you have been able
watch
to
out
do
for second batch.
for
Ryan
Premier
Giggs will
League.
do second batch.
It's a blessing. I hold Blessing responsible for this, but we move.
Okay, sorry. There's a clarification. AY Marshall is telling us about how Rooney is not on the list because the criteria is that he has not retired as at August 2020.
Okay.
That's one of the criteria why for names on the list you must
So
have
now
retired by
I
August
understand.
2020. No worries.
That's more
That's
tenable.
that's
You go
better.
for third batch.
That's more tenable, right?
Third
Wait,
batch.
third batch.
Okay, quick one from the UFC. There might be a clash in the future between reigning UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman and Conor McGregor after both superstars reignited their rivalry on social media on Monday. McGregor has created a knack for taunting Usman after every win, the Nigerian records, claiming he will one day come for the title in the welterweight division. The Irish fighter in a post on Twitter accused Usman of copying his moves in knocking out Masvidal, stating that it would destroy the Nigerian when they clash. You know what they say, talk is cheap. Wait to see what Dana White comes up with. Meanwhile, ahead of the 2020 Olympics Games in Tokyo, 24-year-old Nico Enabosi is confident in our ability to add enough quality as the D Tigresses preparation hot up. Enabosi, who prides herself as a versatile player adept at playing multiple positions, is confident of providing selection options for coach Otis Offley after she was in invited to the team's Atlanta camp. Having watched the team play, she said, and I quote, "I think I can bring more to the defense. I'm a very handy player, love stealing the ball and playing full court defense." Nicole, who missed the 2018 FIBA World Cup in Spain due to injury, said, "Our return to the team has been made easier with the attitude of the players and coaching staff as they welcome her back to the fold like she never left."
Yeah, so I've always watched the team even when I wasn't able to play with them. And I think I can bring to the table defense. I'm a very handsy player and love stealing the ball and playing full court defense. I also think I can bring some versatility and matchup problems, as I am a big guard but a small post. So I play the 3, 4, and 5 position. Like I said, the team is filled with really easygoing girls. So I had a great time. Everyone was really nice to talk to. I think I really was able to bond with the girls my age or who were just getting out of college / in college, while also learning from the older girls because they did a great job really, showing the ropes to the new players / younger girls and really just being there for us, helping us, answering a lot of questions. So yeah, I had a great time in the Atlanta camp.
Okay, well, we'll see how that pans out. Nigeria is grouped alongside world number 1 USA, France, and Japan. The Youth and Sports Development Ministry has revealed plans to revamp the National Sports Festival to keep it in line with modern realities. The recent edition of the National Sports Festival was held in Benin City, Edo State, earlier this month. According to the Sport Ministry, the committee for the review, which will be along the lines of strengthening the game's athletes protection and template for bidding camp, among other things, will soon be announced. Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has revealed that the Edo State government is yet to receive funds from the federal government for the just concluded 20th National Sports Festival in Edo State. We're still in Nigeria. President of the Nigerian Football Federation and FIFA Council member Amaje Pinnick has praised the chairman of the Nigerian Women Football League, Aisha Falode, and her board for the excellent organization of the just concluded Super 6 tournament held in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. I'm quoting Amaje Pinnick. "I must commend Aisha and our board for the efforts that went into putting up such a showpiece. It was a fabulous event in all facets, and I believe the NWFL as a whole deserve our praise." Meanwhile, Nigeria's CAF Confederations Cup representatives, Enyimba, have been granted permission by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 to play their final group game against South Africa's Orlando Pirates at the Enyimba Stadium in Aba on Wednesday. There was apprehension among fans of the People's Elephant that the crucial game, which Nigerians must win to advance to the knockout stage, might be played outside Nigeria due to COVID-19 travel restrictions placed on travelers from South Africa by the PTF. Enyimba are third in the group with 6 points from 5 games, while Pirates are top on 9 points. We'll tell you about 4 games played yesterday. One in the EPL, Leicester City defeated Crystal Palace 2-1 in La Liga. Real Sociedad were 1-0 winners away from home against Eibar. And 2 games in Serie A, Torino defeated Napoli 2-0, while Lazio also won against AC Milan 3-0. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the subject of a UEFA investigation for having an alleged financial interest in a betting company. Oof. What do you say about that?
That could potentially be the end of his career. That because if he's found guilty,
yeah.
And say he gets maybe a 1-year, 2-year ban added to his
but of course, knowing who Zlatan is, you can't rule him out. He's supposed to be 40 next year or this year, and if he gets 2 more, he can decide to come back and play maybe for 1 more, an extra year, and before he wrap things up, close.
But
shouldn't exactly. That's what I'm saying. We shouldn't.
It's
conclude
just a subject investigation.
So he better not be found guilty, really.
Okay, in the Champions League later this evening, Thomas Tuchel has hit out at Champions League reforms and has suggested that they avoided scrutiny because of the furor over the collapsed Super League. Last month, the UEFA approved changes that will see the number of teams competing in the Champions League rise from 32 to 36, while the group stage will be replaced by a single league stage known as the Swiss model. The alterations to the competition will see teams play at least 10 games in the first stage, which is up from 6 in the present format, and something that has irritated the Chelsea head coach. But that is not our focus right now. Real Madrid versus Chelsea I mean, even for a Champions League final, this would have been fitting.
Facts.
But of course, one of these two teams will not make it to the final. Madrid are playing in the Champions League semi-finals for the 9th time in the last 11 seasons, having won 4 titles in that period. They have got Zinedine Zidane to thank a lot because of what he has brought within that period. However, they have been knocked out in the round of 16 for the last 2 seasons. What do you say? Let me start with Blessing. Real Madrid, Chelsea.
Real Madrid, Chelsea, like you said, final before final. But I'm looking at how both teams have been, in terms of performance-wise, their form in the last couple of months. I think since Thomas Tuchel came on board with Chelsea, it has been a different ball game. The whole look has changed generally for them. So you want to see them maybe posing so much of a threat to Real Madrid in this one. But of course, you cannot rule Real Madrid away.
So you want to make a call for this first leg?
Am I making a call for first leg? No, I'd like to wait the second leg to do that.
You're not bold enough to make a call.
No,
you should be able to make a call.
I am not
Fair
make a call.
The board
Call a
one.
friend. Well, for me, I think this is going to be a very difficult game.
Make a
I
call,
think
please.
the only thing going for Real Madrid is probably the experience over this.
What's your call?
Solid.
Oh, you want to be like
defense.
Blessing?
No, I won't be like her. Okay. Solid defense so far from both ends. So for me, I think this is going to end in a draw.
A draw.
First leg draw.
A goalless draw. What kind of draw?
Any kind of draw.
That's not bold enough.
Of course, it is bold enough. At least I stuck on my neck to
Let us take this message from Elaji, and then we'll be back to tell you more.
Ibadan Hotel and Spa Resort is at it again. In furtherance of its corporate vision of nurturing football talent to stadium and in fulfillment of its contractual agreement with Malaga CF of Spain, Ibadan Hotel and Spa Resort is organizing a 7-day scouting program and coaching education for talented footballers and coaches who want to give their career a giant leap. This scouting program will hold between Saturday, 1st of May and Friday, May 7, 2021. Application fee is 10,500 for the young talented footballers and 20,000 naira for the coaches. Highly talented footballers stand a good chance of being scouted by Malaga CF Academy coach and Mr. Diego Martins, a FIFA licensed agent. Ibadan Hotel and Spa Resort will be responsible for the sponsorship of successful players. Former coaches will be given a certificate of participation. Visit Ibadan Hotel and Spa Resort or Loyal Village at Koro Ibadan or call 0802 362 6685 for details. Don't miss it.
Okay, the kind of opportunity I was looking for when I was between 10 and 21 as a young, dazzling, talented footballer.
So I can join all of them.
That didn't happen.
Even if you had those opportunities, you didn't have the talent.
You won't join all of them last.
Well, you have the opportunity right now.
Definitely.
You are young enough, you are skillful enough as a footballer, or you are old enough to be a coach. You need to take this opportunity up. Call these numbers, please. 08023626685, 08072779231. This is one opportunity that is too good for you to miss out on, courtesy of Ilaji Hotel and Sports Resort. We've been telling you about this. Registration is gradually winding down. Don't be a last-minute person. I know that is usually still in this part of the world. You want to wait until the final day, but hey, get on board as soon as possible. The chances of registration is still ongoing.
Yeah, definitely, very much ongoing at this point in time. 10,500 for players. Accommodation will be provided for coaches. 20,000 accommodation plus feeding for those 2 days. I mean, this is a huge opportunity when you're talking about an organization that's really keen on development and exposure of young talented players. I mean, you just want to give it to Ibadan Hotels and Sports Resorts. Talking about the chairman himself, Engineer Dr. Sanusi, he has been so keen on making sure that players are actually given that needed opportunity to expose themselves to the world. And this is another one coming on board. By next week, this time next week, we would have actually started the coaching clinic. And of course, talking about Wednesday, 5th of May, the scouting program resumes for the players. 2-day scouting program, Wednesday, 5th of May to 6th of May, 2021. So you just don't want to miss this opportunity. And of course, come on board. If you're skillful, if you're talented, come and actually show what you can to the world. So that's just it.
Okay, quick comments that we have.
Yes, on Twitter, Martin says Robin Van Persie should be the next to join them. Omar Jibeson says John Terry, Roy Keane, Didier Drogba. That's his own 3 names. And on Facebook, we have L. Josh Rapson saying Didier Drogba. And we also have Yemi Paul Wale saying Didier Drogba should also be in the Hall of Fame.
We're out of time. Julian Nagelsmann has agreed personal terms with Bayern Munich, but there's a clause. RB Leipzig are demanding a world record fee for their manager. That's according to Sky in Germany. Well, thank you so much. Blessing forward.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to the Champions League game tonight.
Yes, and of course tomorrow, PSG, Man City. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Do have a fantastic Tuesday. Thanks to Bolo this morning, and of course to Goke. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. Bye-bye.
It starts with great odds that only gets bigger. A game with the right shots on targets. A payout